today, over here. Wanted to find out what it's like to play in Philadelphia. You played in Houston before. What are the good and bad things, and from your perspective, and also from your teammates who have played in other cities? What do they say about playing in Philadelphia?
Well, the one thing about Philadelphia that always seems to stand out is how passionate the fans are. I know a lot of people say that. What does that actually mean? Well, I think if you go somewhere, and I like San Diego a lot, but for example, if you go somewhere like San Diego, you see in the ninth inning or late in the game, the fans kind of they're very laid back. There's not a whole lot, they're enjoying the game and they're talking amongst themselves. But obviously here, when that ninth inning rolls around, it's like everyone's on their feet. Whether we're down or up, everyone's on their feet because we're either about to win the game or we're about to come from behind to win the game. And I think all the fans here know that, and they bring an energy to the field here that a lot of the guys, when I've talked to coming from other teams, they have never felt before. It's something we can all feel as players, but I think also as an organization, the Phillies are very first class. They really take care of the players well. Coming from Houston, there's a lot of little things that they did. Taking care of families, for example, they really pay attention to detail and things like that, which makes the players feel very comfortable. And I think it's one of the reasons why, besides being a great team and people feel like they have a chance to win a World Series with us, it's another one of the reasons why free agents, guys like Roy Halladay, want to play for us. They hear about how first class the organization is. They know that we have a chance to win the World Series, and they know how great the fans are. And I think when you combine all those things, you're getting something that other teams can't really offer you. So, for me, it's been an amazing experience coming from a lower market team, I guess, like Houston. But I really enjoyed my time in Houston. But the fans are definitely different here. They're so into the game. They're so passionate about stuff that it makes it every single game is fun to play.
Next, Brad, over here.
Okay, it's like a 1 in a million chance you got to play ball, which is awesome. You made it to that level. My question for you is, if the stars had aligned differently and you hadn't been able to make it to that level, what would have been the next choice for you to have done with your life?
That's a good question. I love world history. I'm kind of a history buff, and I think I love U.S. history and I love world history. So, and I like archaeology. I don't know. I grew up thinking Indiana Jones is pretty cool. So maybe something like that. Maybe it would have been a teacher or something. I'm not real sure. But that is something I probably will continue to learn about and enjoy learning about after baseball's over. Hopefully not for a long time, but I love world history and U.S. history. So for me, that's maybe teaching that or learning about that in some capacity would be a pretty cool thing.
Cool. Any other questions? Okay. I'll tell you what, we have a young lady right behind you who hasn't had a chance to ask a question yet, and we'll let you know next month.
The number that a lot of people wear on their jersey, I know means a lot to them. What does number 54 mean to you?
That's a good question. So when I was coming up through the minor leagues and when I got to my first major league spring training with the Houston Astros, all the guys that probably aren't going to make the team, they give them a little bit higher numbers on their jersey. And, it can range anywhere from 50 to like 100, basically. You don't see those guys very often when the season rolls around, because most of the time guys change their number if they make the team. But I had the number 54, and try not to make this too long of a story, but when I was in the minor leagues, I always had the number 21 because I thought Roger Clemens was great, so I came up wearing that number. Well, it just so happened that I always got hurt after 21 innings. It was a really unusual thing. I pitched 21 innings, get hurt, 21 innings, get hurt. It was so when I got to Major League Camp the first time, they gave me 54. I thought, hey, that's it's at least twice as many innings. So I enjoyed that number, and then I found out later that Goose Gossage, who is a Hall of Fame closer, he played for the Yankees for a while, and he was able to make it to the Hall of Fame, and he was actually from Colorado, where I'm from, and I found out that was his number. So I was like, that's great, I'll keep that number, and I've been fortunate to keep it. So that's what it means to me. Yeah, good question.
Questions? Okay. While the mic is coming, let me ask you a question, Brad.
Yeah.
You are obviously a professional athlete. The world-class athletes have talked about a little bit about what they do on a daily basis as part of their training regimen. As a professional pitcher, what's your training regimen in terms of health and fitness? What are the things that you do to make sure you're ready to perform at peak condition?
Well, it varies a lot depending on what time of year it is. During the winter when we're not playing, almost every single day I'm trying to find a way to get myself in better shape than I was in the season. During the season, it's a little bit of a grind, 162 games in the regular season. So, and we might have to play every single night. So we have to be able to do a lot of things to keep ourselves in good shape, but also not do too much. If we have to pitch that night, we got to make sure we're going to be at the top of our game. So we end up doing a lot of lifting and stuff after the game. You know, the game might be over at 10, 10:30. You do all your working out and conditioning for the next hour, hour and a half. And we have dinner at like 12:31, and you know the nights.
So you get done pitching a game, game's over, of course Phillies win. Then you go to the gym, and you're hanging and banging, throwing some weights around, and then you go have dinner, and then you go home?
That's right. Well, we're fortunate that the gym and the dinner are all at the stadium, so we don't have to do too many detours and stops. But you know, that's exactly right. That's what we do after we play, and it makes for a lot of late nights, and we got to make sure we get our sleep the next morning. Even though I have kids and they're getting up pretty early, so. But that's kind of what it's like during the season, and during the winter, obviously, it's all about you know, building yourself up for the long season. And the season's all about maintaining your level of shape the best you can. And you got to figure out, I think, every level or every year you play, you understand what works for yourself better and better. And so, you know, some guys work a lot more, some guys don't work as much, but everybody's definitely doing something every single day, cardiovascular-wise, and to keep their arms and bodies in the best shape they can.
Okay, so that kind of weaves into what all of our athletes up here talked about, commitment in terms of having heart, getting out there and simply exercising, starting, as the major said. That's good. All right, so if you can see, you see some commonalities here. Bottom line is have a plan and go out there and do it. And at the same time, if you're a professional athlete, obviously you're going to be really fine-tuning yourself. Any other questions here? Okay, we got a question. I saw a young lady right here, and then a young lady over here. You got the mic walker over there? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, they're here, and then you're next.
I just wanted to know if you enjoyed doing the pen and if it's ever going to come out in DVD.
That's a good question. We did a show last year for the Major League Baseball network called The Pen, and we actually did have a really good time doing the show. Unfortunately, just about all of us got hurt last year, so we kind of thought it was more of a jinx than anything. The one guy that did get hurt last year, Ryan Madsen, you know, unfortunately got hurt this year, so we thought maybe they found him after the show was over or something, I don't know. But we did have a really good time doing it. I think it will be out on DVD, but I'm not exactly sure when. I know they've sent us copies of it, and they've sent our families copies of it. But the show itself was fun, and I think for sure someday when I'm retired, I'll look back and kind of really enjoy that they did that. This year they're not going to be doing that show on a bullpen. They'll be doing, the Major League Baseball Network will be doing a show on, I think, the Chicago White Sox front office or something like that. So they changed their theme a little bit, and it is interesting stuff, yeah, but not nearly as interesting, I think, as actually being out there in the pen. Hopefully it'll remain a unique show and you know, something that's kind of also a one-in-a-lifetime kind of experience.